off on this platform. So let's get straight to it. I saw a post earlier today that talked about, that was asking, it really made me mad. The post really, yeah, it pissed me off really, to be honest with you. So the post asked about Richard Sherman. It said, it put Richard Sherman up against Jamar Chase. Just that question alone made me mad. Because I like, what do we think of Richard Sherman to be asking about him going up against Jamar Chase? First off, the better question would have been the Legion of Boom against Jamar Chase, because I'm not too sure how Richard Sherman would be without him playing the type of position that he's like, the position that how he always played. I don't think him playing outside of that, how he always played it, I don't know how successful he would be. And the point, what I'm basically saying is, the point I'm making is that Richard Sherman, I have never seen Richard Sherman play man to man ever. And I know some people, they don't really too much care about man to man like that. They don't praise how you play the cornerback position as much as people like me do. It's if you play it well, you get interceptions. I don't care if you're playing zone cover 3 or going up man to man. The results are the results. And for me, nuance has always been a thing in football, always. So if you're going to ask somebody like me about somebody like Richard Sherman, I will tell you that he was a great corner, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not. If you ask me about, do I think that Richard Sherman will be able to shut down, well, any receiver, but let alone a Hall of Fame wide receiver, soon to be Hall of Fame wide receiver, and Jamar Chase, if Jamar Chase keeps going on the trajectory that he's going on, I'm first probably going to pause and not like even going to say anything, because that question is going to make me mad. Because I'm going to be saying to my mind, when did Richard Sherman ever throughout his career ever show you that he was a shutdown corner? Now, with your untrained eyes, or if you listen to the media, they're going to say Richard Sherman is a shutdown corner. But shutdown corner to its true definition is not somebody what Richard Sherman is. It's not. I mean, I will put it to you like this. When I played football, I first started off as a wide receiver. Wide receiver was a position that I was really, really good at. I was naturally good at wide receiver because I played football. Because I played basketball. I started off playing basketball, and I started off playing soccer and baseball. So I was naturally good at wide receiver. And to this day, I wish I never really would switch, because who knows where my career would have taken off. I switched to cornerback when I graduated out of high. No, I switched to cornerback my second year in high school. I switched to corner. I told the story before, but I'm not sure if anybody else heard the story. So when I switched to cornerback, we always had these types of drills that was called one-on-ones. So one-on-ones is you going man to man. There is no, it's you against the wide receiver. And the thing about it is that it was a very, 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 very tough practice or drill or exercise for cornerbacks to do, because the cornerbacks had no help. And it was always 2-on-1. Depending on how the quarterback is going to throw the ball, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was a very disadvantaged drill for cornerbacks. It was a very great exercise. That's why for me, I depended heavily on one-on-ones when I trained as a cornerback. But the point I'm making to you is that any cornerback will tell you how hard those drills were, how intense those drills were. And given the fact that Darrelle Revis, understand how people will think that Richard Sherman did that playing football. He didn't. I never seen Richard Sherman ever go one-on-one with any wide receiver. And the fact of the matter is, if Richard Sherman would have went up to the Jamar Chase, he would have got exposed. It would have been bad. And to be honest with you, Richard Sherman has been exposed plenty of times before. So but we don't talk about that though. So, the thing about it is that to answer that question, the post that I saw, Richard Sherman versus Jamar Chase, that wouldn't be pretty for Sherman. It wouldn't. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll be back very soon. All day. Peace.